Welcome to another episode of the American Nightmare Podcast. This is episode 42, recorded September 23rd, 2021.
Woohoo! Yes, and when you'll be listening to this, it'll be October, and so we'll be well into the swing of horror movie month.
Actually, I think I'm going to try and post it this weekend because I think I've come up with a way to edit things. I streamline it. I tried at least. Let's see if it works.
Cool.
All right. Let's start off with some horror news.
Alrighty.
Scott Cooper and Guillermo del Toro, their film Antlers, which was supposed to come out last September, is going to screen at Beyond Fest this October.
Where's that at?
That's here in Los Angeles. It's a movie festival. I'm actually going. I'm going to see one movie there.
Oh, cool.
All the other movies, they sold out very quickly, but this one is a free movie. And I managed to get a ticket to this one, but this is
full length.
Yes, it's called South of Heaven.
Ooh, Slayer. Nice.
Slayer.
Yeah, exactly, Slayer. But it has Jason Sudeikis and Evangeline Lilly in it.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Does he play Satan?
No, the summary for that movie for South of Heaven is Jason Sudeikis is Jimmy, a convicted felon serving time for armed robbery, who's given early parole. Upon release, he vows to give the love of his life, Annie, played by Evangeline Lilly, the best years of her life as she is dying from cancer. However, the path to true love never did run straight, and soon Jimmy is hounded by Schmidt, a sleazy Shea Wiggum in top form, a parole officer, an insidious agenda. See, it's like a Southern noir film. It's a mix of terrific cinematography, great score, and a film that sizzles with verve and excitement, intermittent actions, set pieces that truly impress. One a truly great example of character-driven noir that is far too rare to see in the big screen. Fans of Evangeline and Sudeikis will find particular delight in seeing these versatile actors spark off each other in roles that were almost custom written for them.
Nice.
That's awesome. He's doing I don't know if you guys watch Ted Lasso.
No.
I love that show.
But some of that has some drama in it, and he's doing a good job with that. You know what I mean? Some of the
I like him. I like her too.
Yep.
But yeah, at Beyond Fest this year, we're going to have Antlers finally, and then it will be making a big screen debut shortly after. Ahead of the big screen debut, Cooper, the director, says, I hope that audiences share my appreciation for horror with a different perspective of everyday fears and ancestral mythology. Again, this was scheduled for last September, and, given the whole COVID situation with movies, it got delayed multiple times, and here we are. It'll be out sometime after October.
Cool.
New trailer for a movie called The Spore. The trailer looks great, and the tagline is "It wants to consume us all." It looks a lot like a zombie movie, but in this case, it is a fungal spore that drives people insane. So
that was kind of like what was the not Cabin in the Woods? It was the one. It was a Cabin in the Woods where they all got that flesh eating
yes.
What the hell was that one called?
I can't remember.
That was an Eli Roth movie. Shit.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Cabin Fever.
Yeah, Cabin Fever.
Yeah,
that was
Cabin
it. Yeah,
Fever. There you go. Yeah.
That was kind of like a fun. Well, it was some sort of weird shit that ate you and It
was Cooties was like that too, wasn't it? Sort of.
Cooties was like that too, but it started out amongst kids, right?
Yeah.
It was a kids thing.
Yep.
Of course it was.
That was a great movie. I love that.
I love Cooties. Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife has 2 new posters and a final trailer announcing its November 19th release. Actually, the trailer looks great. I'm kind of excited to see this.
I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to watch it.
That's what I thought I was done with the Ghostbusters. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'll watch it. I didn't watch the last one, but I'll watch this.
The thing I like is at the end they call some phone number, the Ghostbusters phone number. The kids call the Ghostbusters phone number, and it goes to a bookstore, and the owner picks up the phone, and you hear it's Dan Aykroyd, which is fucking awesome.
Nice.
New interview in Vanity Fair magazine. Elvira talks about her new memoir called Yours Cruelly, Elvira, where she comes out as a gay woman who has had a relationship with a woman for 19 years.
Nice. She's got that special coming out on Shudder, I think, right? Like this month.
Yes, and I'm very excited to see that. I love Elvira, and it's a shame that she kept that from the world. She felt she couldn't reveal that, but you know what? Good for her in coming out now.
Yeah.
It might have ruined her brand.
Oh God, yeah, all those guys rolling over her jugs.
Yeah, it's very possible. Very possible.
Yeah, I understand it. It may have been more for keeping her brand on point than.
To me, the bottom line is that she's an actress. She's playing a part. That's not her. So you certainly could play a seductress, and even though you're a gay woman in real life, I don't know. I think it's homophobia maybe would have probably caused people to not like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but she that was kind of her persona. You know how some people become their persona.
Yeah.
She was an actress, but that's who people knew her as.
Yeah.
I think
I knew her as the biker chick in Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, you always wondered about that. You never saw her with anybody. You're like, pretty attractive woman.
Yeah,
it's part of her mystique.
Yeah.
Right? Rob Zombie puts construction updates for Mockingbird Lane, the Munsters movie set, up on Instagram. So I've got a link here for Instagram. I'll post that on our Facebook and also add it to our website. The construction pictures look awesome. I can't wait until they're done, and I can't wait to see what he does with this movie.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
We previously talked on a previous episode about Showtime creating a miniseries for the Let the Right One In. They now have a star and a director. Damien Bashir is going to be starring in it. Little summary here: Mark and his 12-year-old daughter, whose lives were changed over 10 years earlier, when she was turned into a vampire. Locked in at age 12, perhaps forever, Eleanor lives in a closed-in life, able to go out only at night while her father does his best to provide her with minimal amount of human blood she needs to stay alive. After she was bitten by a mysterious creature, Eleanor and her family, Mark, were forced to live in the shadows and commit shameful acts to keep her alive. When she returns to New York City, Eleanor meets a friend who reignites her desires to regain her humanity. Even in her condition, brings out the animalistic power. It's one of those things where the original foreign film was fantastic. The U.S. adaptation release was garbage, and I'm really concerned that this is probably going to be in that same trash heap of garbage.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
one of those
listening
movies that's going to be hard to. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when you're reading the synopsis. I was like, I don't know.
The original vision of the original director was fantastic, and I think far too many times we see it happen a lot. Remakes. Sometimes it's good to do a remake. If a film was done so long ago, there were limitations to technology for special effects or whatever. There's a reason to redo a film, yes.
Yeah.
But when you got something that was as good and perfect as the original Let the Right One In, just stop fucking with it. It didn't have any crappy looking special effects. It may have been a foreign film, but you know what? Americans need to get over the fact of needing to read fucking subtitles. I hear people say all the time, I can't read a fucking subtitle. How can I concentrate on the film? Easy. Just fucking glance at the subtitle. If you're a slow reader, then I guess the film's not for you.
Hey, come on now.
Does that hit you in a sore spot there?
No, I started watching subtitles. I watched quite a few. Actually, the last movie that I recommended has subtitles, so I can read.
Speaking of subtitles, there was a teaser about 30 coins as well.
Oh yeah, season 2, right?
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember how they ended season 1. If it was open, I guess it sort of was.
Ish.
All right, we
Yeah.
got Bruce Campbell and Devin Sawa star in Black Friday to be released in November. This is going to come out theatrical and video on demand through multiple services. Summary is the busiest shopping night of the year. A group of disgruntled toy store employees must defend themselves from legions of holiday shoppers when a mysterious alien parasite turns them into monstrous creatures, hell-bent on
Nice.
murderous rampage.
That's
That
totally
sounds awesome.
that's
That
totally
sounds
Bruce Campbell too. I could see him being like the manager of the store or something, right?
definitely. Yeah,
Absolutely. And I believe that is the role that he's playing as manager of the store. And Devin Sawa, I don't know if you remember that guy. He was the lead kid character in Idle Hands. The
Yep.
kid whose
Oh
hand was
shit!
possessed.
Well, how old's he now?
He's up there. He's up
Yeah.
there.
He's not as old as Bruce, but he's probably like our age,
Yeah, a little bit younger than us. He's like I think he's like
late 30s.
Seth Green's age, right? Because Seth Green was in that movie too, and I think they were about the same age back then.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like late 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Apple TV Plus has a new series called Invasion, featuring Sam Neill facing a threat of something more deadly than dinosaurs, for sure. An alien invasion seen. The show is an alien invasion seen through different perspectives of various people on different continents across the world. It's going to be a 10-episode series, and it will be starting next month.
I like Sam Neill. That's wait, was that Apple TV you said?
Apple TV
Yeah.
Plus. Yep.
Yep.
Shit, I got to get that back. Damn it.
They gave
Apple-
it to us free for a year. We've been watching.
Yeah,
it.
when you
That's-
buy
Yeah,
a new
we
phone,
lost
right?
our free one. We got to get a new iPhone. Damn it.
yeah.
I'll tell you, Apple TV Plus has so many great series. I really, really like
Yeah,
what they're
what's
doing.
that other sci-fi thing that's coming on? Oh no, that's HBO Max, I think.
Which one is that?
I can't think of it. It might be Apple TV. Maybe it is Apple TV.
They got a bunch on Apple TV.
It has that British. I can't think of his name.
Sean Connery?
No.
Sean Connery.
Suck it, Trebek.
All right. Evil Dead the game has announced via a Twitter that Henrietta will be a playable character in the game.
What? A playable character? Holy
Yes.
shit.
So another reason to look forward to that game.
Oh my god. You think you're going to be able to like extend her head?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the picture they posted was two pictures, one of big fat rotten Henrietta and one with her neck all stretched out and eyes whitened.
Nice.
As we revealed previously about 2 months ago, and I think we talked about it last month too, is that in this game you're going to be able to play the good guys or the bad guys. You can be versus other people as the bad guy.
Yeah, we're going to have a single. I looked it up. They're going to have a single player mode too. I like
Awesome.
that, Adam.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet. Henrietta.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Netflix has released a trailer for the Movies That Made Us All Season 3. And
Nice.
as a surprise, guess what Season 3 includes? It's coming out next month. Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Aliens, RoboCop, and Coming to America.
Are you kidding me? Oh my
Yes.
god, season 3 is awesome.
Yes, I'm
Holy
stoked for it.
crap.
And the trailer, which I will post on Facebook and also will be on our website, shows awesome behind-the-scenes clips from Friday the 13th, the original, the making of Freddy's glove for
What?
the movie of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that
And-
sounds awesome.
And exactly the details and how they found the Kirk mask for Halloween and how they painted it and all the
Awesome.
behind-the-scenes clips of that. It
Oh,
looks
I
that
love
sounds
that.
great.
freaking amazing.
And they do a good job with those like episodes. Like the production's great.
Yes.
Nice. And that's coming in October, huh?
Yep.
For their Halloween push.
Yes.
They're coming out with a boatload of horror on Netflix this month.
Yeah, they're having it's having its own page. Like they're having like a Halloween page or something like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, like when I say a boatload, I mean a boatload, like 6, 7, 8 movies and lots of stuff.
Last month we mentioned that Hellraiser is getting rebooted. So now filming has begun and a couple of set pictures have leaked. And everyone is saying the Cenobites are jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, just think what you can do now. That you
Yeah.
couldn't do, back in the 80s.
Yes.
Yep.
David Bruckner from The Ritual, The Night House, he has signed on to direct, and it's getting ready to go into production right now. As a matter of fact, this article was written about 2 weeks ago, so it's probably in production already.
Sweet.
Odessa Zion, I don't know how to say that name, was recently cast to play the lead character Riley, but we didn't know when it was supposed to start filming. It turns out the project is being filmed right now. The director has said the following: "We went back to Clive Barker's original novella for source material. We want to honor Clive's work and stay as close to possible as the original writings by Clive Barker." So I'm kind of excited for that. I like the idea that they're going to stick a little more to the story than what the movie originally did. The footage that leaked online has some of the Cenobites, and it looks terrifying and amazing, and I cannot wait until this comes out.
Sweet. That's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
I still get like weirded out when I watch those movies. I don't know what it is. Like,
Dude, the first one still gets me every time, man. Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, the effects are still good on that too. That
Yeah.
movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a time when that was released at a time when practical effects were like at their peak. Like it
Yeah,
was-
American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
Yeah.
when they
Yes.
stretched his face all apart with all those like chains and
Hooks.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's
His whole
freaking
body.
awesome. Yeah.
The entire
We
body.
talked before about the Lost Boys being rebooted. Well, guess what? They started casting people for the Lost Boys reboot that will be part of Warner Brothers Pictures. This is going to appear on HBO Max.
Oh, cool.
It has Noah Jupe and Jaden Martell. Jaden Martell being the lead character from It.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's an article here on Joe Blow that's basically saying that they're fast tracking this new script for the Lost Boys. They've already got a bunch of people in place for it, and that's Jaden Martell. He's from Chapter 1 of It. A Quiet Place is Noah Jupe. He played the older son in A Quiet Place. Randy McKinnon, who's writing the WB's Static Shock movie, is penning the screenplay, and Jordan Entwistle is set to direct. Let's see. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, to me, this is one of those movies that should not be redone. Because let's look at it, right?
It's another perfect movie, right?
Yeah, it's the Lost Boys. There was no crazy special effects that when you watch it now, you go, oh, that looks so fucking fake. No, all of it was kind of on the mark.
Yeah, but this is a series though, right?
Yeah, but still, like.
But I think you can get like, I don't know if you saw remember you guys watched the From Dusk Till Dawn series, right?
Absolutely, and they squeezed way more into it. Yes.
Right. So I'm thinking like you could build a bit more around that story. You keep the same premise, and it's not a remake. It's a an homage maybe.
Yeah, you could probably do like a prequel leading up to it, how they turned, or well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe maybe they take it back a little bit. Like Grandpa knew all about the vampires in San Bernardino, so maybe maybe it starts out with him like having problems with vampires before his family shows up.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
And then lead up to the movie or whatever.
You're right though. There's some things that shouldn't be redone, but maybe it's not going to be a remake. It's an expansion.
Yeah, I think you have a point there where being able to expand on stories, and that's one thing that in the past, the way that TV production was done, and they always spent way less money on TV, and the special effects would never be any good or anything. It was only big movies where you can get big budgets.
Yeah,
I think the times have changed, and Disney and Marvel has demonstrated at least that with things like The Mandalorian, things like WandaVision, things like Loki, you could spend $100 million and make a fantastic equivalent of an 8-hour movie, right?
Right. I mean, Netflix has done it too. I mean, they've got a lot of good ones that, just like shit. You're like, holy crap, this is a great series. Like,
yeah. I agree, and maybe I'm willing to give this a chance. But the problem that I have is, this is one of my top 5 vampire movies. Like The Lost Boys is one of my top 5.
I hear you.
I have a lot of fear. I have a lot of uncertainty about this.
I don't
want to
be one of those guys. I want to like look at it before I judge it. You know, like I don't want to like say, oh, you shouldn't do it. Maybe I'll see it and be like, holy shit, that was an amazing reinterpretation of that story.
But the worst part of it all is when it does come out and it sucks a bag of monkey balls.
Oh yeah.
Then every fucking kid that grows up during this generation, when you say the Lost Boys, they're gonna think of this shitty fucking show that came out.
Yep.
That's true. Good point. Good point.
All right. So that's the end of what I have for news. You guys got anything?
I mentioned to Craig that 40th anniversary of Evil Dead. They're showing it in theaters October 7th.
Nice.
So they're playing at the AMC locally. So I might try to go see it.
Yeah,
and
I got to see if it's playing here.
Eli Roth's History of Horrors.
Season 3?
Yep.
Nice.
Next week, I believe, already. So
awesome.
Wow.
Keep an eye out for that. Yep.
All right. Awesome. So now let's talk top 5. I picked the top 5 this month. And let me double check what we got here. We got the top 5 order this time around goes me, Chris, Craig. All right. So the top 5 this month is the top 5 plot twists or surprises in horror movies.
That was a good list. I like that. That was pretty good.
I had a hard time picking because there's so many good ones.
There are a lot of good ones. Yeah, mine are probably all. I know there's some older ones, but mine are probably all from like the 90s up till now.
No, I have some old ones. Yeah, some old.
Well, I figured. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
But can I just throw a caveat out there? One of mine may be the movie we talk about later.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And the reason why I picked it is because I was inspired to that list after watching.
But I want to warn listeners. Maybe if you want to watch Malignant before you listen to any more of this episode, turn it off.
I don't know. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, it's fine.
We won't go into too many details when we.
No, I mean, if you just mention the movie without like talking about.
Okay.
Why,
all right. Okay.
All right. Let's get started. My number 5. Sleepaway Camp.
Nice.
That was one that even to this day still gets me when I think about it. The twist at the end that the girl is actually the brother. Just drives me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 4, Orphan.
Oh yeah.
Where the little girl turns out to be a fucking 33-year-old woman.
Yep.
That was one of those moments where you're like, what the fuck?
Did not see that coming.
Yeah. Yep. My number 3 was Get Out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The twist ending to that one made me go, what the fuck?
Yeah, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck are they doing, and then when they reveal it, it's like, oh my god, this is crazy. Yeah, I love that movie. Yep. My number 2, and this one my daughter agreed with me wholeheartedly. In fact, she thought it should be number 1. My number 2 is Drag Me to Hell.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The end of Drag Me to Hell when the boyfriend goes, oh, you forgot your letter in my car, and hands her the fucking envelope with the button in it. And she immediately goes to hell.
My heart sank. I was like, holy shit. No.
Yes. Especially after
Go ahead.
All she did
to
dig up the fucking grave, fucking try and give that envelope to the corpse of that woman.
Yeah. And then like her life started going great, you know?
Yep.
And the best was though like when the train is on its way to like run her over, and all of a sudden the mouth of hell opens up and you can see her flesh like being pulled from her face. I was like, holy shit, that did not end how I thought it was going to end.
Another fantastic Sam Raimi film. Just love that film.
Yep.
Yes.
And my number 1, The Mist.
Oh, yeah.
That one, I mean, talk about dread.
Oh, that was heart-wrenching.
Oh, the ending. God. The ending of that movie.
The ending of that movie. It's enough to
Yeah.
make you puke.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're like,
Oh,
no, are you
no.
no.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. And I have one honorable mention. This one I was tempted to put as number 5 instead of Sleepaway Camp and reverse these, but April Fool's Day, what was that, 1986 or so when that came out?
Yep.
Great
Oh
slaughter
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That at the end it turns out it was fake. Nobody's fucking dead.
Yep.
So that was great. All right, Chris, you're next.
All right. Yeah, so I got some similar ones here. Number 5 is Get Out.
Nice.
Okay.
We just talked about that pretty extensively, so I won't go into that anymore. Number 4 was Scream. I was kind of shocked at the end. Like,
Okay.
you know, you saw Billy get killed, and at the time I wasn't thinking there was two murderers. I was like, okay, shit. Well, that rules him out. It was and like I like where they like both popped out there at the end. That was pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, that was great.
Yep.
My number 3 is Seven.
Oh
Okay.
yes, yes.
I like the that's a borderline like thriller, right? Like, but it's kind of horror. You know,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I always count that in my horror genre. Just the end, you know, where he you find out that he actually like won.
Yeah.
Damn. Number 2 is Saw.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was another jaw dropper when you saw him get up at the end.
I was like the whole
Whoa.
movie, and it was like the closing, like the music was playing out. You know, like the movie was just about over, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden that dude who you thought was a corpse like peels himself up off the floor, and I was like, holy shit!
Yep.
All right,
Another James Wan masterpiece, man.
yes, yes. And my number 1 is Drag Me to Hell.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Funny.
And we just talked about that pretty much, so I won't.
Such a great movie. Such a great
Yeah.
movie.
I just saw a special on a guy that had purchased all these movie studio props that were filmed, and he actually had the old lady from the coffin.
Really?
Nice.
Dragged Me to Hell. Yeah.
Oh man, she was gross.
So he had
Yeah.
I know. So he had that prop in his house. Like, oh, that's my favorite prop.
That's awesome.
It was
That's
kind
one
of
of the things. That's one of the things I like about Sam Raimi's like horror. Like it's like so gross.
Oh
that you
yeah,
can
like
under-
swallowing an eyeball. Or,
yeah,
it's
like
full
the
of-
spit like dripping
Yeah.
off her like face, and it's
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
swallowing it. and-
Yeah.
Or when the fucking
Yeah.
when at the viewing when the corpse fucking rolled out of the coffin on top of her and like the embalming fluid and shit was coming out of her
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
man.
Jesus Christ.
Love that
Always-
over the top.
Always movies filled with over the top viscera and fucking bodily fluids. It's-
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I have just a couple honorable mentions. I'm going to run through real quick. I won't talk a whole lot about them. The Boy,
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cabin in the Woods,
Yep.
Okay.
The Visit,
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was another one. Yeah.
and Malignant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
Very good. Like that list.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. My number 5, I have The Sixth Sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was like crazy.
Number 5, just because I mean it wasn't super creepy crazy, but the ending was like wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mind blowing.
Yeah. No
I
doubt.
mean it had its one or two scary moments, but
Yeah. And there's ghosts in it.
yeah. Yep. Number 4, I went with April Fool's Day,
Nice. Nice.
an old one.
Old classic.
Number 3, I had The Visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I hadn't watched that for the longest time, and you guys kept telling me to watch it. When I finally did, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
It's crazy, right?
It's funny.
Yeah.
I watched a couple behind.
I
the
sort
scenes.
of saw it coming though too. I was like, it got to a certain point in the movie. I'm like, I bet you any money they're like,
The
Yeah.
bags of poop in the basement are what threw me. Like, he's like, why is he putting all those bags of poop?
yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with Grandpa?
I watched a video with Catherine Hahn talking about that movie, appearing in that movie, and she said they like filmed all those scenes in Philadelphia, and it was pretty interesting. Even the cruise boat one, they went to like the port there in Philly where I guess some cruises are, and got
Okay.
on the ship. Was on the ship to film that scene while people were unloading from the ship. They got permission to go on there and just film a couple scenes with her like on the cruise ship.
Oh,
That was
sweet.
kind of funny. Yeah.
Cool. Number 2, I went with Hereditary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Like that is kind of a like the end. You're like, holy shit! You're trying to figure out what kind of movie that was for the entire movie.
Yeah.
We thought it was mental illness, schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Nope, turns out to be
Yeah.
a cult movie.
Yeah.
And they summoned a demon.
Yep. And number 1, Psycho.
Oh
Yeah.
that's
Psycho.
another great one. Like we said, there were so many to choose from.
Yeah.
It really came down to like the ones that made the most memorable impressions to me, really, I guess.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things about horror is that they do that a lot. You know, you get that a lot in horror movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions, I had similar ones. I had The Mist, Get Out, The Boy. The one that nobody else had was Better Watch Out.
Oh yeah.
I
Shit.
forgot about that. Shit. Yeah, that was
man.
great.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that one.
Yeah, you think it's this nice, innocent little kid, and guess what?
That was a typical home invasion movie.
That was such a great review. We did a review of that one, and it was so good. That's the one who really kind of, what the fuck,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Are we gonna talk about the short film or no? I watched it.
Did you, Craig? Did you watch it?
What's what?
The short film.
The short film screener that I posted to our chat.
Oh no.
Well, then we don't have to talk about it.
You can talk about it.
Well, there's not a whole lot to say. It wasn't really a horror.
No, it wasn't a horror, and that's kind of the thing that I said to the person that gave it to me. I said, well, we review movies, but mostly horror, and this is not quite in our wheelhouse. But I definitely appreciate that they gave us a screener access.
Yeah, and it was shot well, and the acting was good, and the
cinematography was great.
You got the scenes, butt in it.
Yeah. But the scenes were like so cinematic and so really well done.
The only thing is, like, I think there was some symbolism going on there towards the end that I didn't quite grasp. I assume it had something to do with trying to hide your sexuality back in the day, and
yeah.
But I couldn't figure out like she took his picture, and then it was it was actually the picture of him that was developed in the film. But then in the end, it wasn't really the guy; it was like a girl. But I was like, well, who was on the film then? I couldn't mesh that part.
Yeah, that's the part that to me was like, they kind of something there that they didn't pull off quite right. But I understand the symbolism of it, and that the guy was really the girl that she was in love with, and they were having a taboo relationship for that time and date.
Was she a ghost then, or like that's the other thing I didn't understand? Like,
I think that's what it is. I think like she was a ghost. She was a reflection of something in the past. Because then she was gone. She was gone after that.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah. I guess maybe he thought because there was that ghost element to it that possibly it was it was in our wheelhouse. But that's a stretch.
Yeah, it is.
It was good though. It was pretty good.
It's a very well done film, and I think that person, right now they've only done a handful of shorts, but I think they probably have a good movie career.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely. Like I
having
the
vision to pull off some of those sets, pull off some of those scenes,
and the music were great with it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Just not a horror film.
No.
But it is something that I also reached out to him to see, hey, is this something that's going to be available somewhere that the fans of our podcast might want to see it if they're interested? They didn't get back to me yet. My understanding is that it's only going to be available online as a rental type thing, and it's available mostly at like cinema and film events where shorts can be. Yeah, it got entered
so if
into
you like that kind of like a little bit more like mental, movie. It's only like 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's
very
artsy.
Artsy.
It's not a bad little film.
Yeah, very artsy, very well done. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, let us talk our movie review. So this month we are reviewing the movie Malignant. This movie has a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics and a 53% by audience on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I watched a couple other YouTube channels of movie reviewers talking about it, and they all seem to not like it. For some reason, they're seeing it as, oh, this is like same old. But to me, I'm saying, Yeah, to me, I'm saying no. This is like way different than anything that we've
Yeah,
seen
No,
before.
see, I agree. I thought it was I was sort
Really?
of yeah.
really. Oh,
And
Yep.
that part gets to me because like even James Wan, he did a great interview that was on HBO when they did like the behind the scenes little vignette of this. And he was saying, look, I wanted to come up with something different. I wanted to come up with something a little more kind of ballsy. If you don't take risks, you're just
Yeah.
going to get stuck
yeah.
in the same old, same old. And he said, so I'm
Yeah.
going to punt this out there. It's different than Saw. It's
And
different.
when
He listed all the movies he did. He did Saw. He did in Sinister. He did
Conjuring.
uh, The Conjuring. Like all those. This is completely different than all of those.
Well,
Yeah.
but the thing is it starts out similar to his movies, and I think
Right.
that's what he did that on purpose. I think.
No, and
Yeah.
I did. It started off good, and I was like, it got me, but like towards the end, I just
But
that lost.
that was the twist. I think like he
Right.
led you down a path thinking, oh, I knew what this is. This is
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
this is Conjuring or
Yes.
Insidious. Like, and then all of a sudden, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's a
But
crazy.
I think it did. It had too many elements of some of his other movies too. I mean, it was set in Seattle, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay. Should we?
Well, let's do a little quick. I'm going to do a quick little summary and kind of
It's on HBO
just
Max and in theaters currently.
yeah. So you can go see it in theaters, or you can see it on HBO Max until the end of October. Then it will be removed from HBO Max for 30 or 60 days, while it goes to direct to video and other platforms, and then it'll return back to HBO Max shortly after that. Basically, this is a 2021 film by James Wan, like we mentioned. James Wan has quite the catalog of movies that he's done, including not least of which is Aquaman, and
Yeah.
he's also filming Aquaman Part 2 right now. So that's an exciting thing. But really, what this comes down to, this was filmed in 2019. Um, it's based on a short story that was converted to a screenplay by a person named um, Alika Cooper. Wrote
I
the
think him and his
screenplay.
wife collaborated on it. Didn't I think I read that right?
Yeah, yeah. He said Juan and who is this? Ingrid Bisou.
Yeah, I think that's his wife.
Is that his wife? Okay, yeah. So they worked on the original story, uh, which was written by James Wan and Ingrid. Yeah. So I guess him and his wife wrote the original story, and then the screenplay was written by somebody else. It takes place in 1993. There's flashbacks to the 80s and 90s. Dr. Florence Weaver and her colleagues at at a Simeon Research Psychiatric Research Center take on this patient, Gabriel, who has special powers and such, controls electricity, broadcasting thoughts via speakers. One night, Gabriel turns violent and kills several staff members in the institution, and things escalate from there. Um, I'll say that, to me, the movie was well done, I think. Because, like you said, in the beginning, I thought, oh, this is a ghost story. This is
Haunted
because
house.
right, you have like this thing that at first you think is a ghost because you see it on the couch. The guy turns lights on, it disappears, whatever. Then it goes after the girl. She tries to close the door. It like rapidly gets to her. So I'm thinking, all right, it's another James Wan. It's like a haunted thing, whatever. But that's where it's subversive. It kind of fools you there at the beginning because that is not what this film is.
Right.
Um, and as they play it through, you begin to like piece things together. And I think Chris, when you and I were watching it, I kept saying, yeah, whatever this fucking thing going on has something to do with her. Like maybe
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
at that hospital and this boy was like had these psychic powers and got into her head or something there, or so he's like haunting her or whatever. And then you start to notice that every time you see this thing running, sometimes it's running backwards. Its feet are
Yeah.
facing
It
the
like it's
wrong
all
way.
Yeah.
jaggedy and stuff, like the way
Yeah,
it moved.
its arms are in the wrong way. When it kicked the stone in and crawled into the underground in Seattle, it was like doing a crab walk on its fucking back. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. That was kind of weird. And it turns out James Wan said they even hired
Contortionist.
Contortionist to play the
Yeah.
part,
So
which I thought,
it
Yeah.
wasn't
was just
CGI at
fucking
all,
brilliant.
right?
No, it's practical.
That's
It
Which
was
is
cool.
awesome.
practical, except the only scene that was not practical was the fight scene in the police station. That was a mix of practical and CGI.
Yeah.
Well, because that was pretty crazy. But
Yes.
we should probably like stop quick
Yeah.
and
No, yeah, spoilers or whatever.
yeah, like
yeah. So if
you
you
should go
haven't
check
watched,
the movie out.
yeah, definitely check it out. It's definitely worth watching. But once you're done checking it out, come here, check out our review because we're going to do a spoiled review. We're going to spoil the shit out of this as we talk about it and criticize the elements of this film.
Yeah, so that scene was like that, like where like it just blew my mind. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because he was fucking throwing knives, breaking arms, fucking jumping over desks. It was pretty wild.
I did enjoy the weapon, the trophy weapon.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yes.
And just how he used it, and those were good.
But how we got to that part was like, again, it led you through what you thought was going to be another like demon possession or haunted house, or it had all those elements to it.
Yep.
But then my favorite part was that melding of like the
rooms.
yeah. And at first I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought, was it like a different dimension, or is like this the demon bringing her into like, I'm still thinking like demon possession or something like that, like. And
well,
I'm
I was thinking psychic
going on
connection with this guy. So like when he commits the murders.
Well, yeah, because she remembered she told the cop, she's like, he's showing me.
Yes.
You know how he's killing these people. And
but those are great effects, right? Like I loved that.
Right, the way the rooms just kind of fall apart and rebuild into like whatever the scene is that's the murder's taking place. And I thought that's where I thought, all right, here's the psychic link between her and this dude.
Yeah.
And she's in that, so now she can see everything that he's doing, knowing what he's doing. The one thing that didn't understand at first is why was she immobilized? Like why?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Why, when these scenes happened, she suddenly couldn't move and was kind of anchored to wherever she was at.
Right. That was that. Yeah. I couldn't figure that out either.
Yeah. And then as the movie goes on and you begin to realize, okay, something's not right here. Like, and that's when I started thinking, well, wait a minute, he's running backwards. The back of her head is bleeding. I wonder if it's like something. What did we say? Like a Siamese twin that got separated from her.
Twin.
Yeah. It was like maybe it was like a Siamese twin that she had attached to her.
And that's sort of one of my gripes about it. Is it sort of reminded me of Basket Case a little bit.
A little bit.
You know how you said it's the originality. I was like, he sort of.
Yeah, but he took a lot of inspiration. Like that last, like especially like the last scene in the hospital. Like that had such cheesy 80s like slasher kind of stuff. Like she's like, she's like, yeah, but I'll be ready for you next time. And I'm like, Jesus, that's so cheesy. But I think he was just like having fun. Like, like he went from like a serious, James Wan kind of psychological thing to fuck it, let's just do this and let's ninja fights, 20 cops getting murdered. Like it was crazy. Like I thought that was I didn't expect it, and I was entertained.
The scene in the jailhouse was another one of those scenes where, and I didn't realize it when we first watched it, but then I watched it the 2 nights later at my sister's house. I watched it, and I realized in the prison scene, the blonde that starts the fight, that is a stunt actor that has been in 4 Quentin Tarantino films. That's the girl Zoe. That was from a Death Proof. She was on the hood of the car.
Yeah, the Australian
the
girl.
Australian chick that was on the hood of the car in Death Proof. That's her.
Nice.
She is a stunt actress, and she is in that film. And I was like, holy shit. But that whole scene where she beats the fucking, they're kicking her while she's down, and then she starts convulsing.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, the bitch is convulsing. And then she like grabs her head and pulls it open.
Pulls that fucking face comes out. I was like, holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, my sister and my nieces were like, what the hell? Like that is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then she becomes John Wick.
Yeah, and then she's like snapping fucking arms and shit.
There was a lot of gore in that. That was the other thing. There was a lot of gore in that last like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but to me, I was very pleased with this film. Like the end got a little cheesy. There were a couple scenes in it that were like, all right, that's fucking cheesy.
Well, and there was some things I didn't quite get, like how was he controlling electricity? Like, was he like, did he have demon possession or?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. Like,
They
I
were
didn't
doing
get that.
electric shock therapy to him,
Uh,
and I'm assuming that perhaps the fact that he's embedded in her head or whatever, and they said like he was feeding energy off of her body, which is why she was losing weight while in the hospital. I'm thinking there he must have developed like some sort of fucking psychic thing, and I
yeah,
think what it
that's
was is in his writing he couldn't come up with a better way to get Gabriel to communicate with people. Like if his mouth isn't always exposed, how
yeah, it's
can he
true.
fucking talk? So he had to
Yeah.
come up with a vehicle for speech, and it just
Yeah.
happens to be all right. Let's make him psychic.
Yeah,
Like
that was the one part
telekinetic radios.
I
Yeah.
couldn't wrap my head around. I'm like, all right, how the hell is it?
Yeah, yeah. And my thing is this: look, you got to give James Wan a little break here and say if he wrote the whole story between him and his wife, so he probably
Yeah.
wrote this on downtime between all the other fucking shit he's working on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
chances
and
are he tried to paste a couple things into there, and then he went to HBO and Warner Brothers and said, "Hey, I want to do this film. What do you think?" And they're like, "Yeah, fucking do it. Let's do it."
James Wan, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like there was so much other stuff about the movie that I liked that I was willing to overlook that part.
I know.
that
I
didn't.
love the part too when her mother's up in the attic and then she falls through the floor.
Oh shit, yeah! Like I
How
was like,
awesome was that? You're like,
because I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, where the fuck?
how the
Because
fuck
that's when
did she get into the house? How did he
you
get
think
into the
she's like
house?
in the
Came
underground,
together. It all
the
came
Seattle
together.
you think she's in Seattle
Yeah.
underground or somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
That
And
was
you don't
fun.
even-
And don't get me wrong, I didn't hate it, but here's the thing: I love James Wan movies,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was the anticipation for me was just like, you know what I mean? This is going to be awesome, and like I said, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it,
Right? No, I got you.
but like I said, I was just
Well, and the
But
thing
James,
that made the most impact in that scene where she fell through the roof is you still were not aware that they were one and the same
No.
person.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right?
That's right.
And even
So it
when they
still
got
had
into
you
the
thinking, like, what the
right,
hell's going on?
right,
But
and
then I
when
was
they
like,
were in the police station and he calls the police and says, "Yeah, the bitch didn't realize there was
Yeah.
nesting in her house," So it was
Yeah.
kind of
yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I like that part too. That it's like, well, it wasn't her. He's on the phone. You know what I mean? It was like because
That's
they
like-
still suspected her, I guess, sort of, kind of,
and
right?
that's what the cops said. You expect me to believe it's your invisible friend?
Yeah. Oh, did you
Yeah,
notice
that's
that too? The detective's last name was Shaw.
yeah,
Oh no, I didn't.
Did you catch that?
yeah.
I don't know if it was significant or not, but like I said, it was Dead Silence. Mary Shaw.
Yep.
No, I didn't even see that.
He wrote that movie too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah,
That was a good
love
movie.
that movie. Love that movie.
so
Yeah,
I
so-
like I said, I don't know if it's coincident, like because that was in Seattle as well. Dead Silence.
Well,
and-
that's the thing is, I think James Wan likes to build a movie universe. Because think about it, Conjuring
Yeah.
and Sinister have a loose connection. All these other movies have loose connections. I think he's
Yeah.
trying to build his movie empire, his horror movie
Yeah.
empire.
Yep.
But ultimately, I thought it was a great movie. It's definitely worth watching. In fact, I watched it 3 times because I watched it once
twice.
with Chris. I watched it once with my sister's family, and I watched it again with my daughter the other night. So
And there's a lot you catch the second and third time you watch it that you don't catch the first time.
yes,
Like now you look for stuff and you get more clues,
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is kind of cool. Like because I watched it with my wife and daughter then like 2 nights later, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say a thing, pretend I didn't watch this movie. What happened there? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say I also learned something too. The Seattle Underground. Didn't fucking know that was a real thing.
Yeah, that was pretty freaking sweet, right? Like
Yeah,
that was
didn't
awesome.
even know. Didn't even know.
And I think it had something to do. They used to like knock guys out and like send them under, and they used to take them for like pirate. Like they used to take these guys on ship. They would get drunk, and they would throw them down in the underground, and then they would take them right onto a ship and use them
Huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
for like
So
yeah.
didn't realize it. The Great Seattle Fire, June 6, 1889. And then it's just the Pioneer Square area of downtown Seattle that has this.
Oh, okay.
But very interesting. Never even knew about it. And once that movie came out, I got to Google this. I got to know if this is real. Turns out it is. So that
Yeah.
is interesting. All right, so let's talk ratings. What do we think here? Out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I was thoroughly entertained. I do believe it was something. Of course, he was influenced by multiple other films in his past and other past things, but I think this is really a different direction, at least for the characters of a James Wan film, and I liked it. I think he took risk, and I think it paid off. It came out as a pretty decent movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna go 4.5. Like you said, I was entertained, and at first, yeah, I was feeling it was like it was gonna be another Conjuring or another like Insidious, and then I'm like, what the hell? Like it just went crazy. Like it blew my mind when she started like convulsing there in prison, and then just went through this freaking like crazy. Like I was like, what the? And then she went from killing all those inmates to killing all those cops too. Like it was insane.
She
I
killed
was
every cop in that fucking precinct.
yeah, yeah. It was great, and then it got a little cheesy there at the end, but I liked the cheese on the top.
Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going 3.5.
Very nice.
I sort of explained myself. I didn't, like I
Yeah.
said, I didn't hate it, but
You wanted more.
I wanted a little bit more from James Wan, and really, I think it lacked some scare elements too. But I mean, it was a good slash. Like I said, he had the trophy knife and stuff, so it was more of a slasher than.
Yeah,
I guess
lot
like
of
you said,
gore.
there was some ghost stuff in the beginning, but it didn't really creep me out. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Which you usually expect from James Wan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the music and the the tense. I didn't
Mhm.
have any of that tense scariness. So, like I said, that's why I went with 3.5.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Cool. Okay, so I think we'll round that to a good and even 4 stars
Yeah.
from American
Sweet.
Nightmare Podcast. Speaking of music, real quickly, yeah, that's the other thing that I recognized, Chris, when we were sitting there
Oh
watching.
yeah, that's right.
That music is "Where's My Mind." That's the Pixies, and it's some
Yeah,
sort
the
of an
Pixies.
industrial version of it. And
Yeah.
I looked it up, and sure as shit, yep, that's what it was. And I
Yep.
forwarded you guys that great article from, what was it, the New York Post or New York Times, talking
Yeah.
about the history of "Where Is My Mind" in films and how that plays a key role in kind of tipping its hat to let you know what's going on there. That this is
That's in
something
a
to do with.
lot of movies too. That song.
Well,
It was
think about it. You
also
got
was
the
it Fight Club? I
reveal.
think
Yep, the
it was
reveal at
Fight.
the end of Fight Club. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. Forgot about that.
Which to me
Yep.
was the best usage of that song. Like when
Oh yeah, for
when
sure.
Marlo walks into the room and he goes, "You met me at a very strange time in my life," and the music starts playing and those buildings fucking drop. I'm like, that is like the best fucking usage of that song.
Yep.
Have you guys seen the Van Gogh like knockoff of that scene where they're standing
No.
there watching all like it keeps showing up on my Facebook feed. When it pops up again, I'll show it to you. But it's basically like think Starry Night, but
Yeah.
that scene with the two of them standing there watching all those buildings explode.
Oh wow,
it's pretty freaking cool.
that's cool.
Nice.
I told Kim, I said I want to hang that in our downstairs room. I said that'll go better over a couch than what we got there now.
Yeah.
Oh, I just looked it up. Wow.
Pretty sweet, right?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. It's available on iCanvas and Etsy. People on Etsy have big framed versions of it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow, that's very nice. All right, so that is it for this episode. Let me just say thank you to all of our listeners. Um, you know, I mention this all the time. I haven't gotten any emails other than spam, goddammit, so someone fucking email me. If you have suggestions for future podcasts, general feedback, ideas for top 5 lists, we always need help on that. We're running out of some ideas, folks.
Movies you think we should review?
Yep. Whether it's a
Yeah.
classic movie, a hidden gem, one that everyone knows that we haven't reviewed yet, more, we'll gladly rewatch the old classics if you want us to.
Sure.
But at least send us some feedback. And again, that email address is feedback@the-american-nightmare.com. You can visit us at our website, the-american-nightmare.com, or on Facebook under the American Nightmare Podcast. We also have added Facebook contacting me. We got the new Facebook podcast features, and I've automatically added us to that, so our podcast feed is
Sweet.
available on Facebook if you're an avid Facebook user. Fuck Facebook.
Awesome.
Again, email us with any of your suggestions. You can also reach out to us on Twitter, TAN Podcast, at TAN Podcast is on Twitter. We're on Facebook, and I'm going to be putting together a Twitch channel for us where I will air the audio of our podcast. But I think in the future we might start doing some live video streams when we record, which I think would be interesting for some of our listeners to chime in while we're actually recording the episode.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So again, you know, we have the number of listeners is growing. We have 200 subscribers right now, which is really nice. It's great to see that whenever I publish a episode, there's immediately 200 downloads, which that means all of you guys out there listening have us in your subscription list, and our feed is automatically sent to you when it's published. I love that. Thank you. Keep it up, and tell your friends because we need more listeners.
And your grandma.
And your grandma.
Tell her
Thanks again, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.